Hi students. In previous class, we have discussed about features of Python, differences between Java and Python, and also we have discussed about what is data science, what is artificial intelligence. Like all these, we have discussed. In today's class, we are going to discuss about implementations of Python and features of Python. All these we are going to see one by one. So as I told in previous classes, so Python is it is a powerful language. It is called as a general purpose programming language developed by Guido van Rossum in the year 1989, and it is introduced as an internal project for CWI Mathematical Research Institute located in Netherlands. And in 1991, it is released for public, so that IT companies can use Python software and can develop applications or projects. And like after that, we have discussed many things related to Python. So Python is used for mathematical and numerical calculations, and Python is used for automation, and Python is used to handle big data. Any application, any project can be developed using Python. All these we have seen. And after that, I've told about other features also. Python software is lightweight software, and Python is portable, and Python has scalability, and any application, any project can be developed using Python. Like all these we have discussed. So now we'll discuss about implementations of Python. So when we say about Python flavors, or we can say implementations of Python. Like here we can see C Python, J Python, Jython, like Iron Python, Ruby Python, Anaconda Python, like all these are there. And like in C language, we have different flavors, like Turbo C, ANSI C, Borland C is there. Like default is Turbo C, like students will learn Turbo C. And if you take Linux, in Linux operating system, we can see different flavors. Like we can see Ubuntu, Fedora, Linux Mint, OpenSUSE, like many are there. Okay. And here also in Python, we can see flavors. Like in Python, like here C Python is there. It is the default implementation of Python language. Like if any student is learning Python, it means that the student is learning C Python. Okay, so it is the default and most widely used implementation of the language. And here when we are working with this C Python, it is written in C and Python. In two languages it is written. And while working with this C Python, it has a compiler and interpreter. Both is there. Yesterday I've told, like a Python is compiled and interpreted, both. So, like if I write a program in Python, Python means C Python, then first it is compiled, and then it gives a bytecode. So bytecode means intermediate code or middle level language or assembly language. Again, bytecode will go to Python virtual machine. So Python virtual machine will take the bytecode and it will interpret the bytecode, and then it will give a native code or executable code or a machine code or binary code it will give. So first compilation, after that interpretation will be there. So what all concepts you are learning, chapters you are learning, all are related to C Python only. So Python language default implementation is C Python. Okay. And when we are working with Django or any other courses, there C Python only is used. And not only me, all will teach Python. It means that C Python. And here you can see Jython or J Python is there. So this is used to work with Java applications. In Java applications, if I want to use In Java applications, if I want to use Python code, then this Jython or JPython can be used. It works with JVM, Java Virtual Machine. And here when we say about Jython or JPython, whenever you want to go with combination, like in Java application, if you want to use Python code for doing some task in the project, then Jython or JPython is used. And here you can see Iron Python is there here. You can say Iron Python. So it is used for .NET developers. So those are working with C Sharp in .NET. And if they're developing applications in .NET, and if in .NET application, if they want to use Python code, Python programs, if they want to use, then Iron Python is used. Like it is like a combination. Then it is allowed. And here you can see Py is there here. PP we can say it is called as a Python package index. So it is used to search for Python packages, and it is used to install Python packages. For installing Python packages, then we can use Py can be used. So in Python we are having Python packages. Okay, these are developed by Python community or Python Software Foundation. So the Python software is maintained by Python Software Foundation only. And while working with this Python like a community, when we say about this Python community, they have developed many packages. So in Python, package is a collection of modules. So Python program or Python file is called as a module. So module can contain variables, functions, properties, classes, all these can be there. So in Java, when we say package, package is a collection of classes and interfaces. So here it is different. And here you can see Ruby Python is there. So Ruby Python means it is used by the web developers working on Ruby on Rails. Like here we have Ruby is there. Ruby on Rails will say it is a server-side technology used for developing websites. For developing websites, Ruby Python is used. So while developing websites using Ruby on Rails, and if they want to use a Python code, or if they want to use a Python objects or Python functions, if they want to use, or if they want to use Python code, then by using Ruby Python, we can do it. That possibility is there here. So here I'm saying server-side technologies, and here I'm saying websites. So we'll discuss some basics related to websites. So in internet, or else in World Wide Web, nearly 6 crores websites are there. So daily, 1,000 sites are hosted or published in internet every day. So we can see like many sites are new sites are published in internet. So while working with the websites in internet, we can see client system, and here we can see server system. Like we used to say, so client system has a browser. So browser is an application. Like we can take any browser, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla, other. And here server system will have web server. So browser is an application used to open the websites. Web server is an application. It is a software or an application used to store and to run the websites. So in internet, in World Wide Web, thousands of servers are connected to internet. So if when we take any server, it contains web server. Using web server, the websites are stored and the websites are executed. So here when we say about like web servers, like Java, in Java we'll use a Tomcat web server, and in .NET we'll use IIS web server, Internet Information Services, and in PHP, then Apache server is used, and in Django development server is there, development web server that is used. So here when we are working with websites, we can see two types of pages, static pages and dynamic pages we can see here. Static pages and dynamic pages. So static pages means HTML pages are called as static pages. So these are controlled or managed by the browser. Browser can manage. Manage means we can move from one page to another page in the website. And when we use HTML pages is whenever you want to display the same information to all the users accessing the website, then we can use HTML pages. HTML pages can be used. Okay, and while working with these HTML pages, so examples are like home page or index page, about us page, contact us page, a sitemap. All these comes under HTML pages because we are going to publish display information. Like here I said sitemap. Sitemap means it will show the information about the site, like what all pages are there. All these we can see. So HTML is a client side, works in browser, executes in browser. Along with HTML, we can use other client side technologies or other client side frameworks we can use. Like we can use a JavaScript, then CSS, like a cascading style sheet, and we can use like a jQuery we can use, and we can use Bootstrap, and next one is DOM, so document object model, and then Angular and React JS. Like all these are client side only, works in browser, and here all these are there. So Angular contains TypeScript is there. It is a superscript of JavaScript. It is like modern programming languages, like what all concepts are there in Java, like classes, interfaces, all we can see in TypeScript. So TypeScript is used in Angular. So in Angular, we can see two frameworks here. Angular framework is there, Node.js is there. So Angular framework is used as a front end. Node.js is used as a back end. Like what all I've typed now, all these comes under front end, works in browser. Okay, so React.js is used for reusing the UI components, user interface components. Whenever you want to reuse the code, then React.js is used. And here we can see dynamic pages. So dynamic pages are controlled or managed by the web server in the server system. So web server will manage. Web server will manage. Okay, and here dynamic pages means in dynamic pages from user to user, information will change. It won't display the same information to all the users accessing the websites. And here while working with dynamic pages, examples are login page, then registration page, change password, password recovery. All these are the examples of dynamic pages, because when we give information, the information will go to server. Then server will validate and will give response. Registration page also. Okay. So here to create dynamic pages, then here we are having server side technologies or backend technologies. Server side technologies means PHP, then JSP, servlets. Then here we'll use ASP.NET, ASP.NET MVC, and next one is Django, Ruby on Rails, and then here we are going to use Node.js. Like all these are there here. All these we can use it. Okay, in Python related framework is Django is there. So using Django, we can create a dynamic pages or a dynamic sites. We can use it. So here, when we work with HTML pages or when you work with dynamic pages, like here we can work with HTTP or HTTPS protocol. So websites in internet works with HTTP or HTTPS protocol. Okay, so this HTTP is a very old protocol. It is 40 years old, and now we are using HTTPS also, secure. The data is safe. Okay, in HTTP we have to implement security manual. We have to write a code, programs for implementing various different types of securities. Okay, like for example, when we are working with websites in internet, like websites in internet works with HTTP or HTTPS. Like for example, if I say durgasoft.com, so this will works with HTTP protocol. Here you can say HTTP, and here it is saying not secure. It is giving not secure means HTTP. And if I say Gmail or if I access any other sites, it is showing as HTTPS. Like it is showing a lock symbol means the information is secured. So when you work with websites in internet, it can be HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, like in Django, if you develop a website, by default it is HTTP protocol only. You can ask internet service providers, like those who are doing web hosting or those who are publishing the website. Uh, uh, like the websites which are allowing web hosting, you can ask them like to run the website with HTTPS protocol. Then they'll do that. Okay. And here when we are working with HTTP or HTTPS, it is called as stateless protocol. Stateless protocol means it cannot remember the information given in the pages, and it cannot remember the pages opened in the website. HTTP or HTTPS cannot maintain history. Okay, so they are communication protocols used to transfer data in network. For transferring data in network, these HTTP or HTTPS is used. So while working with HTTP or this HTTPS, because of not maintaining the data, then we can store data. That possibility is there. So we can maintain web pages values in the client system or else in the server system. We can store web pages values or website information in a browser. In browser means client system, or else we can store data in the server. That possibility is there. Okay, so when you are working with HTML pages, we can store web pages information or website data in the browser, in the client system or else in the browser, and we can use the data across pages in the website, like username or account number, credit card number, debit card number, PIN number, all these. All these we can store and we can use it. So when we store data, web pages, values, or website information in the client system or else in the browser, the data is not safe. And you can store limited data, execution is slow. So when we are storing the information, web pages, values, or website information in the server using dynamic pages, when you store the data in the server, then the information is safe. It is secured. Why? Because is when it goes to server, then in a browser that information won't be there in client system. So whenever we are working with confidential or sensitive data, then we have to store values in the server. We can store values in the server. Like a confidential or sensitive data means passwords, account number, credit card number, PIN number, all these. Then we can use this HTML, this server side dynamic pages we can use. So when we store information in server, then information is safe. Then you can store large amount of data. Accessing the data is also fast. Okay, and with the dynamic pages, we can integrate the web pages with database. If I want to connect the web pages with MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, or else with any database, we can do that. So that we can send data to the database, accessing the data, all this is done. Like here, I've told only 2-3 differences, but with static and dynamic pages, many differences will be there. Many differences we can see. Okay, so to integrate with database, dynamic pages we can use it. So in Python related Django, you will learn how to create dynamic pages. You will learn how to work with static pages also. You will learn how to work with static pages and the dynamic pages, and you will learn how to store data, connecting to database. All these you will learn in Django. So here, whatever I've told now, like all these comes under Ruby Python. For Ruby Python, I've given explanation like what are client-side technologies, server-side technologies, like front-end, back-end technologies, like static pages, dynamic pages. So static pages are controlled by the browser. Dynamic pages are controlled by the web server. All these are there. And here you can see Anaconda Python is there. So it is specially designed to handle large volume of data processing. Like when you are learning data science, like in future when you learn data science after Python, then in data science, this Anaconda Python is used. So you can download this and then you can work with the data science. So there it will take large amount of data, then it will convert that, it will with the data is using the data, reports are generated. So while learning data science, you can download and you can use it. And next one is Stackless Python is there here. So this is used to do multiple activities concurrently or simultaneously. So whenever you want to do multiple activities at a time, then by using Stackless Python, we can do it. Okay. So in advanced Python, one chapter is there. Many chapters are there. Like multi-threading chapter is there. So we'll write multi-threading programs and we'll use in Python application. Multi-threading programs will do multiple activities, will do multiple tasks. So in our classes, we'll not use Stackless Python. Okay, because you are going to learn multi-threading. So in multi-threading chapter, whatever programs we write, they can be used in Python application. So the programs can do multiple activities. Downloading this flavor implementation and using it, all this is not required, not necessary. Okay, so here we have seen many flavors of Python, and the default flavor or implementation of Python language is C Python. So when you are learning Python, as I told before, it means that you are learning C Python. So C Python is compiled and interpreted, and it is developed by Guido van Rossum. Okay, in previous classes also I've told, father of this Python is Guido van Rossum. C Python is developed by Guido van Rossum. So this is about implementations of Python, and now we'll discuss about the features of Python here. Features of Python, we'll see all one by one. So when you are working with features of Python, first one is easy to learn and easy to use. As I told before, Python Python language is beginner's language. Beginner's language means without knowing basics of any programming language, student can start with Python. It is like nursery level. And in Python, syntaxes are very simple. We can remember, and rules and regulations we can follow. And Python programming is very simple. It is not difficult like C and Java. Like easily you can work with. And when we are working with Python, easily you can learn, and you can develop applications or projects. That possibility is there. Python, we can call it as friendly language. So friendly language means here we are going to use here you can understand Python, you can write Python code, all this. Then only we'll say friendly. Like if let us say if 20 students are learning Python, all can understand Python. Okay, but when you take Java or C language, all cannot follow that language. But here that problems won't be there here. Those who are learning Python, they'll understand the concepts, programming, everything. And here you can see second one is there, that is expressive language is there. So expressive language means it is more understandable and it is more readable. So like those who are learning Python, all will understand Python. It is more understandable, not like other languages. And readability also will be there. We can read the language, like statements we can read, because whatever words that we use in our daily life, like spoken English will say now, the same words are used. Like you can see words like print, then input, and then walk, sleep, run. All these are there. Okay, all these words are there in the program. In when you learn chapters, you will find all these simple words will be there. And here you can see interpreted language is there. Yesterday I've told Python is compiled and interpreted. And here you can see cross-platform language is there. So cross-platform language means when we say about Python, Python is platform independent at development and at production. So Python Software Foundation or Python community, they have developed Python software or Python language for different operating systems. So they have developed the Python for Windows, then Unix, for Linux, for Mac OS, for AS400 they have developed. Here I'm typing python.org, I'm giving here. So here when I click on downloads, you can see download latest version for Windows, then download 3.9.1 is there. And here you can see looking for Python with different OS, Windows, Unix, Linux, Mac OS, then other operating systems you can see here. Okay, so here when we are saying about Python software, like when you are learning Python, when you are practicing Python, when you are developing applications in Python, you can use Python software in any OS. It is available. Okay, Python community, they have developed Python for Windows, Python for Unix, Python for Linux, Python for Mac OS, Python for other operating systems. Now I'm using Python software in Windows. Like when a student join in companies to work on Python projects, they may ask to use other operating systems like Linux or Unix. They may ask to use like Ubuntu, Fedora, many other flavors are there. They can use that. Okay, so when we are working with Python, Python works in any flavor of Unix or Linux operating systems. So it works in different operating systems here. So now we'll see the flavors of Unix or Linux. Here you can see this. So Python software works in any flavor of Unix, like Sun Solaris, then IBM AX, HP UX, AT&T's, AT&T System VR4, DEC Unix, Mac OS, Co Unix, all these are there. And Python software works in any flavor of Unix, like Ubuntu, Fedora, Linux, Mint, OpenSUSE, PC, Linux OS, Debian, Mandriva, Sabian, Gentoo, all these are there. So in all these flavors, Python software will work. And here when we say about this Python here, so Python applications will works in any operating system and works in see when students are learning Python, so it means that the student is learning C Python only. It is the default implementation of Python language. It is the default implementation of Python language. It is most widely used language like C Python. Okay, like you are learning C Python. I am teaching C Python. All faculties will teach C Python only. Like in Django, in other Python related courses, C Python is there. So Python or C Python is developed by Guido van Rossum. Okay. So here what I'm saying is Python is platform independent at development and at production. Okay. So while learning, while practicing, while developing applications, we can use Python in any OS. Python software in any OS. And if I develop, yes. So here when we are working with this, like in Google, you can type downloading JPython, downloading Anaconda Python. In Google, you can type. Then it will show that related flavor. You can download. And here when we are working with uh, this production here, if I develop Python application, then in Windows, in my laptop, if I develop Python application, then it can run in other operating systems without doing any changes. Without doing any modifications, it will execute. So how it is possible is in the system, in which system that I want to execute. In the client system, their PVM should be there, Python virtual machine. So if a PVM is there, then the Python application can run in any OS and it can run in any machine. That the system may have different CPU architectures, but the application, Python application, will run successfully in the particular system. Okay, so Python is platform independent at development and at production. Python software works in any OS. Python applications run in any OS. And Python is machine independent. It works in any machine. It works in low and high configuration machines. And Python works in different devices, multiple devices, like laptop, desktop, tablet, PC, smartphone. In all these, it will works. And here you can see the next feature. Python is free, open source, and redistribution is there. So when you are working with Python, it is a free software. It is free and it is open source. So we can open the Python files and we can see what code is given, what are the functions, which are given. Like all these are there. And here you can see redistribution is there here. So like Python is having hundreds of modules, then hundreds of functions, thousands of functions are there. Okay, so when the students are learning Python, like core and advanced Python is for 2 months. So within 2 months, students will learn many chapters. Students will learn about many modules, like many functions, all this. Okay, and when students join as a fresher in a company on live or real-time projects, whatever they learn here, they'll implement in that project. So like while learning the course, while doing first project or second live or real-time projects, like they if they want to know like what is missing in Python, it is difficult. Okay, because only for learning, only to know what is there in Python, it takes time. Okay, it is taking time, but here we cannot identify, we cannot in the beginning only, if any student is asking like I want to know what is missing in Python, in beginning classes it is not possible. Okay, so those who are expert in Python, like those who are having 3-4 years of experience, real-time experience in Python, and those are working on major projects like banking, insurance, then hotel, hospital, then HRM. Like when they are working on major projects, big projects, like when they are working on big domains, then in that case, like when they are expert in Python coding, they'll be knowing what is missing in Python, what is not there in Python. Then according to their project requirement, they'll do changes, and they can do the changes and they can use in their projects. They can do changes in the Python files or modules, and they can use in their project, and they can give to other Python programmers so that they can use in their project. That is called as a redistribution. So Python code we can customize. Like if it is not according to our requirement in the project, we can customize the code, and then we can use it. Okay, that is done. Okay, so there is no rule like we have to use the Python files or modules as it is. According to our requirement, we can use, and we can use in our project. We can do changes, and we can give it to other programmers, other Python programmers, so that they can use the customized code in their projects. That is called as redistribution. Redistribution we can do here. And next one is object-oriented programming is there. Like when we are working with Python. So in the previous demos, I'm saying like Python is a powerful language and Python is a great software. I'm using all these words. Like students may be having a doubt, like what is this Python actually it is? What is this Python is? So Python is, it is a scripting language. Python is a scripting language. We can see many other scripting languages. We can see many scripting languages. Like here, we can see the scripting languages list. Like shell scripting is there, then Perl is there, and PHP, then TCL, TK. which is used in desktop applications. TCL/TK will use in Python. In desktop applications, we'll use it. And next one is VB script, JavaScript, then Ant, PowerShell, Ruby on Rails. All these are the scripting languages. So Python is also, it is also the scripting language. And Python supports the features of many programming languages. So Python supports the features of procedure-oriented programming, like how we do programming in C language, like writing programs in C language. In the same way, we can do in Python. That we can do here. Okay, and uh, Python supports object-oriented programming, like how we do in C++ and in Java, like creating class, creating object, then working with OOPS features, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, data abstraction, and working with like a static keyword, then working with function overloading, and then constructors, working with constructors, then inheritance, then function overriding, then operators, garbage collection, then using destructors. All these are there. All these if a student is not aware of object oriented programming, if student is not good in object oriented programming, no need to worry, because in advanced Python we are here one chapter is there, object oriented programming chapter. Will discuss very clearly about what is object, what is class, what is object, like what all you will learn in C++ and in Java, all you are going to learn in Python. Okay, so Python supports object-oriented programming, and Python supports scripting language features, and Python supports modular programming is there here. Modular programming Python will supports, and here modular programming means module 3 is there. There is a language called module 3. Like you may not heard about this module programming. Like this language is there. So it will support the features of modular programming. That is module 3 is there. So in Python from the beginning, we are going to create modules. Python files or Python programs are called as modules. So in Python programs or else in modules, like we are going to create properties, functions, then then properties, variables, classes. All these we can give in module. So here what we are doing is yeah, Python is a scripting language, but it supports the features of many programming languages. So taking all these languages and putting in a mixie, and then generating one language called Python. Okay. So if I'm saying like this, then students may think if Python is supporting the features of all these languages, then it would be very difficult programming language. So now also I'm saying even though it supports the features of many programming languages, it is easy to learn, it is easy to use. Okay, so because that difference we can see here. So when we are working with Python here, it supports object-oriented programming. Okay, so when you are doing project in Python, or when you are doing project in Django, or when you are doing project in Python related courses, we have to use classes. We have to use classes and objects. Without object oriented programming, we cannot do the projects. It is not possible. Okay. So when we are using object oriented programming in application, in Python application, or else in Python project, or else in Python project, then that Python application will get security, flexibility, and reusability. Whatever application we are developing in Python, in Django, or else in Python related courses, that application or project will get security, flexibility, and reusability. So security means like whatever code is there that contains that will have security. Okay, like how security will works means in object-oriented programming we can see that security for the code, not for data or information. For the code in object-oriented programming, that facility is there, and the flexibility is also there. Flexibility means this Python code, other languages code, or Python code can be used with other languages code. So in Python application, we can use C, C++ libraries, then Java and .NET components, all these we can use it. That flexibility will be there. It can easily flow into other programming languages. And the reusability is also there. Whatever code that is given, like classes, variables, and functions, we can reuse it. That reusability will works with inheritance. Using inheritance, it is possible. We can do it. And here, when we work with object-oriented programming, all these are there. Like the code in the project will have security, flexibility, and reusability will be there. And here, when we see the other features, we can see extensibility and integrated is there. So extensibility means in Python applications, we can use C, C++ libraries, Java and .NET components, we can use it. Okay. And yeah, integrated is there. In other languages applications, Python code, we can use it. So we can see one language code is communicating with other languages code. This will be a new experience here. Because in Python application, in future, in real time, in Python application, you will see Java or other languages code. In other languages applications, you will see Python coding, you will see. So that possibility is there. Communication between languages, like a cross language communication, all these is there. And here Python is having a large standard library. Python is having hundreds of modules or thousands of functions are there. So by using them, you can build applications easily. As I told before, in Python, 90% of the code is already done. So Python community, Python Software Foundation, they have already developed hundreds of modules, hundreds of libraries. So by using them, you can develop applications easily. 90% of the coding is already done. From our side, we should give only 10% of the coding because already code is ready that we can use and we can execute that can be executed here. We can do that. Okay. And here one more feature is there that is called high level language. So this will takes time for explanation, high level language, because here we'll deal with strongly typed languages, then loosely typed languages. Here we have to discuss about data types like int 32, int 64, about the softwares. A 10th point requires lot of explanation. Within 10 minutes, I cannot complete. So I'm students, I'm stopping now, and tomorrow I'll continue with this 10th feature, that is memory management. So tomorrow we'll discuss about this memory management, and after that I'll tell about what all applications we can develop in Python, and then we'll discuss about installation. So downloading the software, installing Python, and then interactive mode, batch mode, all these we'll discuss one by one. Okay. And those who are interested to continue the classes, please talk to online team, register for this course. Then I can send you the videos and for notes I can send, recorded videos and notes I can send to your mail IDs. Okay, students. So please talk to online team, register. Then videos and notes I'll send to your mail IDs. Okay. Okay. Okay, students. Tomorrow I'll continue.